this is for who's moving on to row for tomorrow. I will start with the men, and I will just read the names of those going through.
Starting off the trials weekend, we go down a day early, driving down south, but not too far, just to tease about 3-4 hours drive. And we were greeted with a lovely evening to get in some boats with the guys that we'll be doing the testing with on the first day of trials, which is going to be 7 500s with each and every athlete. So getting some bursts in, getting some work in, feeling like what it will be like in the boat as well as with each athlete the day before, and while we're at it, enjoying a lovely sunset over the water. Quite the contrast to what we will be facing tomorrow with 7 500s as fast as we can in these boats on this water. The first thing to do in the trials process this weekend was some sprint testing, and it was to be done pretty early in the morning. I think it was around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I wanted to get up early before that and get some work in on the rowing machine just to loosen up after the travel day yesterday and not the greatest night of sleep. You're done.
I really need a wee. And to warm up.
Now, with the run testing done, it was time to get onto the water and start the matrix. And for those of you that don't know what a matrix is, it's basically everyone comes together, gets onto the water, does a race, in this case 500 meters, then everyone switches their partner and races again, switches again until everyone has raced with everyone. You then end up with an overall cumulative time, and then you can compare those times together to see who is the fastest. So my aims for today, as we're about to head off in the first run, is basically to row with everyone as well as I can and make the person that I'm rowing with feel like they can go as fast as they can.
I feel wonderful. I feel good.
I don't necessarily want to have the fastest run of the day, I just want to have a string of really good runs. So if I can make the person that I'm rowing with feel comfortable to lay down the power and make them go fast, it's going to help me in the long run, especially because today we've got 7 flat out runs down this course here. Seven 500s complete here at Tees in the coastal boats on the flat water. Really enjoyed getting the pieces done. Had a little bit of a build into it. Would have liked to really push on that first one and maintain throughout, but I think it was a bit of relearning how to row the coastal boats fast. They're very different to that flat water boats, even though we went on flat water in the coastal boats. It's just, they're that much heavier, they slow down that much quicker, so you have to row them slightly differently. But really good learning, took that into each piece, learned every time. I feel like I got faster throughout the day. Now we just wait on the results and see kind of how they pan out. The results should be in basically everyone's times added together and who had the fastest overall time. But some of us did have some little bit of boo-boos throughout the runs. Somebody's foot fell out. DJ Dan Jones and I had a little bit of an incident with some logs, and other people had some incidents too. So we'll see how that goes, but we'll deal with the cards we were dealt and see what the results say when they come out.
This is for who's moving on to row for tomorrow. I will start with the men, and I will just read the names of those going through. Cousins, Buchan, Hall and Jones, you've all been selected to go through for tomorrow.
Times aren't out yet, waiting for the official results, but I have progressed on to tomorrow. So good signs, but it'll be really interesting to find out the times. So we did find out the times, but didn't quite record the results. So starting off this Sunday with some more sprint testing, again not looking super fluid, but I ended up winning the matrix in the doubles, which gave me some confidence for the second day of trials, which is now going to be in quads. So we're testing different combinations in the bigger boat that we will be racing at Worlds if we get selected. And as you can see, the boat is vastly different. It's much bigger, there's 3 more people, it's a much heavier boat, so you do have to row it that little bit differently. But really looking forward to the challenge today, where we will be getting out onto the water, switching the combinations similar to yesterday, but this time we're doing side-by-side racing, switching the combinations directly, so one seat for another seat, and then we race again. So we weren't told to begin with how many pieces we will be doing, how many races, but we ended up doing 6 races, 3 with a little bit of a break, and then 3 more. And it was a really interesting day, to say the least.
As soon as your hands are down, I will start.
Okay. Rosa, just keep scratching on that left blade.
Attention! Go!
Legs up. 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 And legs in there. Legs in there. Legs in there. Nice, nice, wind it up. And in 3, we're going to swing. Ready, and swing there. Swing. Right, half go. Half there. Half there. Dig in 2. Dig in 1. Dig there. Now, joining in. And pop out. In 3. In 2. In 1. And half there. Half there. Half. Wind it up. We're winding up, guys. That's right. Good time. Find the speed. There, we're changing now. There. This is it, guys. In 5. In 4. 2. 1. Over the line.
Great job, thank you.
Nice work, guys. Really solid effort.
Go! 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 Oh! Go! Go! Oh! Oh! Yes, watch the right through the stairs. Go, try! Try! Keep it strong to the finish. Yes, guys, easy there.
We've made it back home and we've got the results email titled Results Beach Sprint Trial. So let's have a read together. Good morning. Thank you all for coming to the Beach Sprint Trial this weekend. It was great to see so many people taking part in the great racing over the weekend. All results now published to the trial site. As was said on Sunday, selection decisions will be communicated until later this week. Okay, so that wasn't the email that I thought it was going to be. I thought titled results, I thought that was going to be the results and who was selected. Misread that one, so we're going to have to wait a little bit more time, but I think I might as well just assess how I felt the weekend went before we go on to the results, which hopefully will be in the next clip in a few days' time. The regatta or the trials itself, I felt like it was actually really enjoyable and a really good learning experience. Like I mentioned on the first day, the coastal double on the flat water, you really have to roll that in a different way to what I'm used to in the flat water, and it really does help on the sea. And then there's another level that happens in the quad, and then there's another level again, another difference level that happens when you actually go onto the sea, especially when it gets rougher. So really good to keep that in mind for every time I get out in the coastal boats, especially as they get bigger, is it's not just like a flat water boat where you go into, say, a single, a double, and a quad. Yes, they're different, but they feel very similar. Whereas a coastal single, double, and quad, again, are similar, but the differences are much, much bigger. And there's a differences in seats, so you need to keep that in mind. Obviously, the results have went really well. On the Saturday, I won by over 10 seconds in the matrix. So really, really positive for, at the very least, fitness and boat speed on flat water anyway. And on Sunday, with the side-by-side racing, it was a hard one, a difficult one, because the boat I was in, the boat I was racing with, we didn't win any of the legs, which is really mentally difficult to deal with when you do leg after leg after leg. And so I was getting frustrated because I wanted to keep pushing and beat the other crew, just that competitor in me getting a little bit frustrated. But that's what happens. You can kind of guess what the results are from the results of each switch, each seat race. I wasn't switched or seat raced, so I'm not sure what the selectors are thinking, and you can't guess what they're thinking because you're not them, you're not there, you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. For now though, we just have to wait for the official selection, the news to come out, and I'll let you know when I know. And in classic great timing fashion, we get an email right in between one of the erg workouts, so I've got about 5 minutes rest. What does the email say? Good afternoon, thank you to all taking part in GB Sprint Trials this weekend. The information is collected. There's a short video to watch for the update and the announcement of the team. Take time to watch if you have any feedback. Don't share the crew until formal announcement, so I guess the announcement's out by the time you guys see this. Well done to everyone taking part. Congratulations to those who have been selected. So I don't know what the video is. I don't know the crew announcement. I don't have much time to finish off the rest. So what I'll do, finish off this workout and then we can watch the video together. Okay, we've recovered from that pretty tough session. Now it's time to watch the announcement video that the email was talking about.
Hi, for those of you that I've not met before, my name is Tom Petitius. I work for British Rowing. Part of my role with British Rowing is to support the development of the GB Beach Sprint programme. So the purpose of this video and presentation is to run through the selections that we've made for the GB Beach Sprints teams for the 2024 World Beach Sprints Finals. But anyway, without further ado, what I'm going to do is run through the crews that we've selected. We've then got a coastal mixed quad of Ryan Glimond, Heather Gordon, Cameron Buchan, Charles Cousins, Rosa Thompson, and they'll be coached by James Walker and myself.
Alright, so I think it's official. Assuming we get everything sorted, all the details and training and the cost as well sorted, we're heading to the World Championships, the Beach Sprints World Championships this year, which will be in Italy. So really excited to be selected. I feel like I represented myself well in the trials process, the quad trial process, and so it's really nice to be able to be pushing on from that. I feel like the training's been going well prior, the last season, end of last season, and then I've been able to top that up going into the trial, and I'm really looking forward to sort of going forward and keeping on pushing with the fitness, the ability, the technique, coastal wise and on the flat water. And I think they're really working really well together. So I'm really excited to see what we get up to heading into the World Championships, but that's a future Yam Squad to look forward to. I'm not really sure how it's going to work, how it's going to look. We do have some calls coming up to get everyone together, whether it's often or we do camps or we figure what's going on so that we can all go as fast as we can at the World Beach Sprints Championships. So really looking forward to the actual championships themselves and what's to come between now and then. Because a little bit of that, you may have guessed it, variation, because variation is one of the keys to motivation, but I still want to be on a continuous, consistent training path. It could be super easy for me to say, we'll go train here, we'll train there, we'll do this and we'll do that, and then I don't end up getting any consistent, good, long training in, because I'm not necessarily just looking at the next week, the next 2 weeks, I'm looking at the next months and even potentially years. So I want to keep that curve following that upward trajectory, but also we have to take into consideration that I'm not in the boat myself, and there's going to be 5 people total, so 4 people and the Cox that are going to have to organise around each other to be able to get that good training in. So really excited to be selected, and the people themselves, so Heather, Rosa, Charles, myself and Ryan. I think Charles has done it before. Charles Cousins has done the beach sprints before in the quad and in other boats, but also he's been to Olympics before, so it's going to be great to be able to train with him and learn from him. And I think Rosa has done beach sprints champ worlds before, I think, or other races, and Heather and I have been training. You've seen her in other videos before as well, so good to have a familiar face and not so familiar faces, and really excited. But it just adds to that excitement and see what we can do going forward. So that'll be it for today's episode, Yam Squad. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of different format. I'm interested to see what you think, so let me know. Obviously it's not that quite style vlog format, a little bit different. If you liked it, let me know in the comments below. If you didn't, let me know in the comments below. And if there's other things you think I can improve, of course, as always, let me know in the comments below. And if you did enjoy the video, hit that like button. And if you aren't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, especially if you want to be notified for the beach sprints content coming up and heading into the World Championships, as well as the other plans that are going to be topped on top of that too. Oh yeah.